Welcome everyone to part 1 of my FireBlade Revival series. This is a 2002 Honda CBR600RR. It has about 25,000 miles on it and has a rebuilt title, which I was able to scoop up for $500. I bought this bike off of a friend who bought it off some kid in non-running condition. She brought the bike to 2 different bike shops which took the bike apart and were both unsuccessful at fixing the bike. She offered to allow me to buy the bike, and when I saw it, this was the condition it was in. Yeah, so most of it was there in boxes, but not all of it, and the whole thing was completely taken apart, and it was completely unknown to me about anything about this bike. Anyway, fast forward to today, and it's at my house and ready to be torn into. Because obviously there's an electrical issue, I'm going to start with that first, to see if I can get some power going through the bike. The previous shops had completely spliced into every single wire almost, and it would be wise to replace the entire harness with a known good one. However, my goal with this project is to not throw good money at a bad bike, so I'm going to try and save costs as much as possible. I think despite the cuts in the wiring harness, I can recover it. I got this wiring harness totally wrapped up now. I checked the polarity between all these points and everything is fine. There's no breaks in the wire. I did cover up all that sheathed wire. I tried doing one of these, but it was just not really working out how I wanted it to, and it was taking a long time, so I just taped over it. I'm still getting good polarity, so it's not a problem for now. And I also was able to organize these so I know what they are and where they go. Now that the wiring harness is all cleaned up, it's time for me to connect it all together. What you are seeing here is me connecting all of the connections and hooking up the battery. All I am hoping for from this is that when I hook everything up and turn the key, I will get some lights on the dashboard. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Look at that. We have stuff. Oh my god, we have stuff. So now that the dashboard is working, we know that power is at least going through the harness. This is a huge step. Let's take a break from the electrical and do some cleaning. These throttle bodies were disgusting. Luckily, I had some throttle body cleaner and rags, and hopefully that'll take care of that. Okay, that's looking much better now. Currently routing the wires for the wiring harness. I've been looking up diagrams and I think I have it done right. I have these 2 wires going in right here. I have the kill switch wire right there, and then the main sub harness wire goes underneath the frame right here, and all my connections are right here. Now I was trying to plug in the bank angle sensor, and this is the connector for it. A little bit of a problem, they're both the same connector. So I looked into the box of parts and I found this, which is the correct connector. So they had the wrong bank angle sensor. I'm guessing they thought this was bad and they were swapping it to C. I don't know though, I think this is a good sensor, so I'm gonna plug this back in. Alright, here we got the velocity stacks. This one is really dirty. This one's clean, I already cleaned it. Gonna go ahead and clean these, and then I'm gonna mount them onto the airbox. I already have perfectly placed into position. All the wires are routed correctly, at least per the service manual. Gonna put these velocity stacks in. Pretty simple, it just screws right in. This will kind of hold the airbox in. Alright, this is going to be a crank test. Probably won't do it, but we'll try it. Oh man, it's cranking. Oh shit, this thing's gonna run. I got the airbox already on, the velocity stacks on it. Just gonna shove these in here for now. But wow, that is... this thing's gonna run. Oh man, I'm so excited. Not too bad, only been working on it for a few hours. Things are going pretty well now. Unfortunately, I ran into a bit of a problem when trying to mount the gas tank. I noticed that the banjo bolt that connects the fuel pump to the gas tank is missing. So this is something I'm going to have to order, and I will not be able to do this episode, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm going to take a break from doing mechanical stuff and start working on the cosmetics. I know that most people prefer to only work on the mechanical parts of the bike before even thinking about the aesthetics. For me personally, I need those aesthetics. It reminds me that I'm working on an actual bike and not just a pile of junk, even if I am just working on a pile of junk. So here I am mounting the tail piece. Most of the electrical back here is already done, and I'm only going to mount it using zip ties anyway for now. Now the tail section is hooked up onto the bike. Unfortunately, it still doesn't look like a bike to me, so I'm going to have to hook up that front fairing and headlight. Again, this is mostly with zip ties and all temporary, and plus I can use this as an excuse that I wanted to check out the lights. Now that I've mounted the tail and the front fairing, I think that's enough for this first episode. But before I go, I want to attempt to start the bike using some starting fluid, just to see if I can get a few pops. Unfortunately, the bike isn't starting. Oh well, it was worth a shot. Next episode, I'm going to check spark and compression and make sure it has both of those. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy this series, then please let me know by leaving a like. Thank you all so much for all that you do for my channel. I appreciate it all. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.
Let me live my life, the one I'd better lead. All the blondes of fantasies, and we looked at them 11 ways. You said, look at me, I looked away.